1.
Welcome to Reset to Healthier Relationships, Sunday night at 9. I am your host, Coach Glenda, the Rise Again woman, here with my course manager, Mr. Rufus Carpenter. Tonight, we're diving into a topic that so many of us have lived, survived, and overcome: the soft life versus the struggle love myth. So go ahead and grab your tea, your coffee, your sparkling cider, and get comfortable and open your heart. Because tonight we're not just talking about love. Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody's in the chat. I'm sorry.
Got it.
Tonight, we're not just talking about love, we're resetting the narratives that shaped us, reconnecting with our worth, and rising into the relationships we deserve. Let's get into this. So, everybody, I want to say welcome. I know we have a few people in the waiting room
I think I got them
trying to.
all out. I think I
Oh,
got
yeah.
them all out.
Okay, that's good. All right. Okay. All right. So, welcome everyone again to Reset to Healthier Relationships, Sunday night at 9. Tonight's topic is another barn burner: the soft life versus the struggle love myth. And again, my course manager, Mr. Rufus Carpenter, is here as my co-host that is going to assist me with tonight's topic. Mr. Carpenter, do you want to share a few words this evening?
Well, I want to say one thing because I know people always ask, where did these topics come from? Because they're so real. Because we're talking about real life stuff. This is not so much an entertainment platform, but this is a platform about life, the things you really need to negotiate your relationships. Just a little while ago, someone asked me. Someone says, Jesus know about long suffering. So should a relationship be about suffering? And that's where the night came from. So the night when you actually go through the night and you realize that, hey, look, should I suffer in a relationship, or should I suffer in a love, or should it be about suffering, or should it be about love? The night, that's where it came from. All right.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you a quick question. You can put your responses in the chat if you so desire, and then I'm gonna ask you to share if you would like. But who told you that love had to hurt first before it healed? Who told you that love had to hurt first before it healed? So was it your grandma? Was it someone at the church? Was it your first boyfriend? Was it your mother? Can you think of someone that shared some valuable information with you, telling you that love had to hurt first before it could be healed? Now, if you haven't had okay, if you haven't had that conversation, I honestly get it. But my first time hearing that phrase was in church, because it goes back to say, love is long suffering. All right, someone, okay, so it says that that's a myth. Okay, all right. So I guess you want to elaborate on that, Sharon?
Can you hear me now?
We
Okay.
can hear you now. Go ahead,
Yes,
Sharon.
I can hear you.
I think that's just a myth, only because like it's been passed that has been said, only because the people that was hurt through finding love use that as an example to like say, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but what I'm trying to say is it's a myth. That's what I'm trying to say. I can't think of it. I think it's,
If,
I
if
think
I
Okay.
if I can piggyback on Sharon, a lot of us believe it because what we've seen in our own households where our moms had to suffer, where the father would go out and have fun, do things on the weekend, and the wife would be home taking care of the children, taking care of the house, washing and cleaning, cooking, and the husband be out with the buddies having a good time. So we all felt that the woman should suffer. The woman has to make the chores, to do this and do that, while the husband can go out and party at night. So,
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
but
I think that's
go-
just an excuse that the female uses to cover up for the man's behavior, and she's staying in it.
so you say she's using it to mask what's really going on in a relationship.
No, she's using it to cover up why she don't leave or why she put up with it.
Okay, all right. So in other
You're saying
words,
that it's because of love.
Right. No,
it's
no,
something
no, not because of
learned.
love.
So
It's
Sharon, are you saying that's something she learned or something she feels that's part of her makeup being
that's
the
part of
wife?
her. It's part of her what she has to do to keep the family together.
Got it, got it, got it. And I think as we go in
Okay.
discussion tonight, Glenn, I think she's gonna see where that came from and how we're gonna change some of that.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go on to the next quick question. Who told you that you have to prove your worthiness to be chosen? Who told you that you had to prove your worthiness to be chosen?
Are we putting
That
that
I've
in the chat
never
or are we
been
saying
told
it
that.
out loud?
Oh, you can put it in the chat, or if you want to come off mute and make your comment. Okay, someone did put in the chat. No one ever told me that either. I haven't heard that. Anybody else wanna let's see. Okay, someone said our mate. So you're saying that one of your mates told you that you had to prove yourself to be chosen.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
a lot of times people want to feel that you're worthy of their love and they want to they want you to jump through hoops to prove that you're worthy of their love. In some kind of way, if you jump through hoops and you do these things, then in their mind, he loves me or she loves me because she's done these things to prove it.
Mhm.
A lot of
Mhm.
people believe gifts, like giving gifts. A lot of other people believe in taking a lot of mess off of someone in order to prove you love me, you love them kind of deal.
Mhm.
You
Interesting.
make me think I'm
Okay.
the only one to ever hear that, Glenda. Like, where you
Well,
at?
I mean, but was someone speaking? Okay. I won't say I want you to think you're the only one. It's just that, we probably experience it, but actually hearing it from someone, I know I've never been told that. Now, I have experienced what you're talking about because I felt that I had to, jump through hoops just to prove my feelings for the person. It still didn't pan out the way I wanted it to, but at the end of the day, I still felt like, a dog, doing tricks to prove to their master that they are worthy of a treat, but at the same time, I mean, it's if you got to do all that, is it really worth it? That's just my opinion.
Okay.
So, anybody else? Let me see. Let me check the chat real quick. Has anybody else been told that they had to prove their worthiness to be chosen?
Or have you put anybody through those rituals to prove that they loved you? Are you on the other side? Have you ever put anybody through hoops or put anybody through in the regiment or had someone to prove they love you? Have anybody on the line ever done that or been a part of that?
I wouldn't say prove that they care for you. I would show you that they care for you. Like show you that you are valuable.
What would be an example? What would be an example of something they would do to prove to you, Sharon, that they are worthy?
Be something like if they go to the store, you always go to the store and you be considerate. When they go to the store, they should be considerate. Like if you thinking of, they should ask you, you want anything from the store or something like that.
Okay. So that's to me that's respect there. That's respect because if you went, you would ask them the same thing. They want something, you'll bring something back for them. So that's more like reciprocity. So I think that's a normal behavior, a normal expectation
Mhm.
in my way of looking at it.
Yeah, but sometimes people don't think of that as um, normal. because there are a lot of relationships that don't do that. I've only experienced one, and I'm over 50.
Ooh, ooh.
So that says a lot. That's not normal behavior.
But I think it should be though. I think it should
It
be.
should be, yes, but it isn't normal behavior.
And that's why you sometimes you have to teach people how to love you. You got to teach people how
Absolutely.
to treat you sometimes. And this is why forums like this is so important, because this is when you get to talk and discuss those things, and you let people know some of the things that are expected in relationships, some of the things that are normal relationships.
That's true.
Okay.
I learned that late in life, and you're absolutely correct.
Okay.
All right, we're going to move on to the next quick question, and feel free to jot your answer in the chat as well. If you would like to speak out, just don't hesitate to just take yourself off mute. Who taught you struggle but never taught you peace? That's family all the way. I didn't find out about protecting my peace until I got up in age. That was way after my divorce. But the question is, who taught you struggle but never taught you peace?
And since you said we can talk, I think coming up as a Black child, you always struggle. I don't think you were afforded peace coming up as a Black child back in the day when I came up as a child in a Black
Mhm.
neighborhood and a Black family. I think
Mhm.
struggle was part of the lifestyle. Am I the only one
Most
that
of the time.
experienced that?
So you pretty much saying that no one taught you about peace growing
No, I
up.
didn't learn peace until I got old enough to buy it.
You said fire.
What Sharon said, you are older. Oh, okay.
Because I guess he feels like when he got old enough, he realized, oh, I haven't got time for all this nonsense and foolishness. So yeah, I understand that. I don't know about the buying part, Mr. Carpenter, but I'm gonna take your word for it. But yes, anyone else um would like to chime in on that question? Who taught you struggle but never taught you peace?
Let's talk about some early relationships before we get any further. Let's talk about some of our early relationships. Because this
Absolutely.
is a good point to talk, because I think where you're going to go next is really, really deep. So before we get into the deep water tonight, let's talk about some of the lighter. Let's stay in the shallows for just a few minutes. In
Okay.
our younger life, when we had boyfriend and girlfriends and we first began to love and learn what love was all about, did we think it was all peace? Did we think we had to struggle? Did we think we had to go through things to prove our love to that person? Or did we feel like when we started loving someone, it became peace? When you first loved, in your first relationships, was love a struggle or was love peace?
Mm.
Okay, Sharon said no. So what do you mean no? You know it wasn't peace, or no it was a struggle? Sharon, what's your no?
My no was it wasn't a struggle.
So
It was
so your first love relationship was
yeah,
peace.
yeah, it was peace.
Okay.
Because you like you say you was just starting out. You were just learning how to deal with another person on their on their with their ways and stuff. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, and that's a good question, because Sharon said her first relationships of love or relationships was peace. It wasn't a struggle. As a man, as a young boy, my first was a struggle, because first I had to sneak away. Then second I had to figure out how to get there to where I was going, because I didn't have a car, so I had to walk. So mine was definitely a struggle. And then the little girl didn't really want to talk to me, so that was another struggle. So my first relationship was all struggle. I didn't learn peace until later on in life.
Okay.
Anyone else want to share their first relationships? Was their first relationship was it love? I mean, was love peace or love or struggle in your first relationships? All right, look like we're gonna have to get in the deep water. Nobody want to play in the shallows. Okay. All right, Glenda, let's go to deep water. In the shallow water, we didn't get many bites in the shallow water, so we gotta go deeper. We gotta get on that ship and go out there.
Okay, someone did just chime in and say struggle, and someone else just commented if this was a struggle, would there be love? Would there have been love?
Yeah, because I think I know for me it was a struggle because it was a struggle. First it was fear, and then after fear it became struggle, and then somewhere curiosity took it further. Curiosity of what's going to happen made me stay in the game, even though the struggle was real.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my experiences as a young lover.
Okay. So let me ask a question. Now, the person that put struggle in the chat just now, do you feel like you're elaborating on why you said that it was your beginning relationships was a struggle versus peace?
For me, it was a struggle because, okay, hold on just a second. I gotta do my TV. Hold on. I'm sorry.
Okay.
For me, it was a struggle because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't understand. I was new to just even the thought of love or whatever. But the person was more into it, and the relationship was that person. That person didn't. Their style of loving or whatever was being able to have all the women because that person thought they were handsome, so they were out there womanizing. And that person, he drank a lot. And when he drank, in the area I was in, they were accustomed to fighting women, beating on women.
Mm-hmm.
And I was involved in this type of relationship with them. And then the women in the area were accustomed to fighting the other woman to like beat you off this man. You get away, he's mine, he's mine, he's mine. But
Mm-hmm.
he was a womanizer, but each woman considered they were the only woman that he
Right.
had, or the only female he had, knowing this was the person he was. So it was a struggle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your first love was later on in life. It wasn't early then.
It
True
was
love.
early.
You're right.
It
True
it
love.
was it was not later on in life. It was early.
Well, I didn't mean like later on, later on. I mean it was like in probably your 20s or so.
No.
It was earlier than that?
Yes.
Wow. So they was drinking and carrying on like that at a young age? Ooh, Lord.
Yes.
That was a struggle.
It was
Yeah.
a struggle. Yes.
And I'm glad Ann brought that out because when you look at it like that, and I can relate to what Ann is talking about because I've seen it where it's so bad where the women fight says, you're not his B, I'm his only B.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
look, B, you better not come around here because I'm this. It was really really bad for a time, especially in the black neighborhood. And because that's the way a lot of people are brought up. That's where a lot of people see through their parents. So the children imitated what they saw in their parents.
Well,
And
mine
go ahead. You were gonna say something, Kinka?
say mine was a struggle because hell, I didn't know what love was. I thought it was love. So yeah, mine was a struggle. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what from what.
And and
So
that's
yeah,
why. And believe it, because when Glenda first talked about the night subject, it didn't seem like this was much to this, but there is a lot here. There is a lot because we gotta uncondition ourselves because a lot of
Mhm.
us were conditioned for the struggle. Like people say the Bible, long suffering. God is of long suffering. So if God suffered long, we know we're gonna be suffering, where really it's not the same thing. So we've got a lot to unpack tonight, a lot to unpack. And I hope all of us have pretty much been through this in our own life. So we're at a place now where we can find peace in life. But for us that can't find peace or don't know what peace really looks like, tonight's going to be a great topic for us tonight. Because love have a lot of great parts to it. And love can be some muddy water if you don't have it the way it should be. So Glenda, you want to go deeper?
Well, I did before I
Go end it first. And go ahead, Annette.
I'm sorry. I was going to say before you go any further, I was looking at a comment in the chat where it says, but at that age, was it a struggle because of age and maturity? And I would think for me, I think it was both of those things, but also I think it was because of pattern. I think it was the pattern that the people had been accustomed to. So that was the thing to do on both sides, for the male and the female. I think it was both patternized.
Okay, because that was what I was going to clear up. But thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, when Annette said patterns, do people really know what she really said? Because that's key, that word pattern. Pattern, most of us spend our whole life following patterns. A lot of people study people behavior by the patterns that they exhibit. So this is very, very important. The patterns that we fall ourselves into. You know, the examples and patterns are who we really become. And until we break those patterns, we continue on. So I'm glad Anna brought the word pattern up. That's very, very, very important in tonight's subject, because the patterns we saw and the patterns we emulate is who we become. So tonight we want to break this demon tonight.
All right, thank you so much for sharing tonight. All right, so for the ones that are just coming on, tonight's topic is the soft life versus the struggle love myth. Should love be hard, or are we conditioned to accept unnecessary struggle? Thank you again for everyone that sacrificed and came on to join us tonight. And we're going to dive into our real life examples. The first one is the over-functioning woman. I coached a woman who believed if she didn't carry the entire relationship, it would fall apart. And it did. The moment she stopped doing everything. Not because she failed, but because the relationship only worked when she over-functioned and he underperformed.
I saw something in chat, then I think somebody was going to comment. Were you going to comment, King?
Mr. Keenan clearing his throat.
I did. I had to.
Okay. Now I saw something come up really quick, but I couldn't read it. It was
it says, what about people who overanalyze everything out of fear? Those people usually sabotage their relationships.
They either sabotage relationships or they stand still. These are people that don't get in the game. These are people that watch the game being played and always play from the shallows or play from the always on the sideline, not in the game.
Right.
But the man manipulated. Okay, so I think what this chat is saying, that the man kind of set it up this way. This is not a natural and not a natural occurrence that a person manipulate the subject, manipulate the time, and make them that way. Is it they're manipulating a person because they want the person to be vulnerable to them? Let me see what it says. Like men choose women with lows. Okay, all right. Well, Andre, do you mind commenting on that? Because I don't think I can do that just as justice as you can. Because the way you wrote it, it came out really nice.
Well, what I was saying was, I don't know what's going on in the atmosphere lately, but I've been talking to different friends who, for whatever reason, they're in these relationships where they seem to be the person with low self-esteem or the vulnerable one in the relationships. And they're feeling as if they got to go spend all this money. And yes, the guy is telling them, oh, I love you this, I love you that. And I'm saying, well, of course, everybody's going to tell you they love you when you're buying everything. So I'm like, well, so I'm telling them, well, hey, why don't you leave your purse over here and y'all just go out on a date and then let me see how much you love you. Because if y'all can't go on a date without your purse, then maybe they don't love you. And so whenever I would say things like that, the guy would say, oh, well, Andre is trying to ruin your relationship. You're listening too much to Andre. And I tell her, I'm like, look, I'm not necessarily telling you this to break you all up. If you're happy, you're happy. But my thing is, at the end of the day, you're my friend, and I don't need to be listening to this. Like, I don't need you to get heartbroken at the end without someone telling you, like, a voice of reason.
Right. Because you're recognizing the red flags that they're
Correct.
exhibiting.
So if you choose to move forward, you can't say, how did I miss it? You know, you knew what
Yeah,
you
I
made
didn't
a
know.
And see,
Exactly.
again, that other person, the person is being taken advantage of, that could be the pattern she's seen. That could be the only pattern she knows. The pattern she knows, she has to buy her way, or she has to prove that she loved this person, so the other person, so she can be accepted. And a lot of times, if she's a giver and she knows she's a bona fide giver and she hooks up with takers, then that pattern is going to continue. Because the more she feels good about giving, the more the other person will feel good about taking.
Exactly.
So that pattern is always going to be the same. And Andre's giving good advice. If you stop taking your purse, how far are you going to go then?
Right.
So that's great advice.
All the females I know, shit, they ain't gonna leave no purse behind. I'm sorry. That's part of the swag, the fit, and whatever you want to call it. They ain't leaving no purse now. It might not be shit in it, but they gonna have that purse.
Yeah, but the women now realize, a lot of women will look at you, you know, when you look at them and say, hey, look, you know, I don't have any money at this time, can you, you know, some women say, wait, hold up, then why'd you ask me out?
Well, you got to understand now, if the man is always paying and all of a sudden he's like, hey, look, I'm a little tight or whatever the excuse is, can you get this one? It should be understandable. Yeah, I got you this time. That's having my back or having their back.
Well,
But
yeah.
now on the first beginning, hey, look, I'm short or I left my wallet and all that. Shit, I paid for it this time, but it won't be a second time. Cause I ain't going back out with you.
Right. Yeah, I do get that one. I would feel the same way. Or we can actually cancel the first date.
Yeah, cause when it comes
First
out,
date,
hey, you
that's
got
it,
it.
that's it.
Right, right. How you ask me out and you don't have any money? So
Or,
that leads me to believe that you're expecting me to pay. And how is that going to play out for the remaining dates if we decide to go on another date? You may be looking for me to pay again. No.
or somebody thinking that their money is more valuable than your money is to
Oh,
you.
I've been there,
That's a
done
good
that. Oh
one.
my
That's a
gosh.
good one, Sharon. Thank you for bringing that up.
Mm.
Now that is sad. That's a very sad. That's when you start pushing back. You really stop doing things. You know, you want to go out. I'm straight. I'm good. I don't want to go.
But you know what? I hang out at the pilot a lot, the travel center. And I
Mm-hmm.
hang out at convenience stores just hanging out. What I do a lot of times, and I'm not hitting on people, I'm not trying to get with nobody because I'm happy where I'm at. But what I do is, hey, look, you'll get me a soda. Am I worth the soda? You know, or you'll give me something to drink, or you give me chips or something. I just feel what people's heart is. You know, since
Mm-hmm.
my accident, this is what I do. I ask the question, and for the ones that attempt to give me or to help me, I don't care
Mm-hmm.
what their bill is, I pay it.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Because, see, that's my way of giving back and keeping my promise that I made to put a smile on at least one person's face a day.
Right.
That's what I do. But now that one, the ladies especially, you know what they say? You need to be paying for mine. I tell them quick. Well, if you would have asked, I might would have. But you didn't ask. I asked you.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times I look at it as follow your heart. If you
Mm-hmm.
got it, do what you're supposed to do. If you ain't got it, you just be honest. Let them know, hey, look, I'd be interested, but right now, financially, I just can't do. But I still would
Right.
love to go out on a date with you. And then that'll let that other person know, whether it's the male saying it or the female saying it. It'll let them know where you stand, and then it put the ball in their court. If they interested in you still, you know where it's at. But then if it become a continuation, that's when your flags and stuff start going. But you got a complete understanding at the beginning.
Right.
It ain't no surprise.
Right. Just don't ask me out and expect for me to pay for the first date.
Right. But now there's a time might come that, hey, I would love to take you out on a date, but right now I just don't have it. But I
Yeah,
would
that's
like to
fine if it's
go.
down the line.
Huh?
That's fine if it's down the line.
Yeah, but it might be at the beginning because you might catch like right now, I'm in a slump. I
Not the
might
first
want to
date.
go out on a date with you and be like, look, I would love to go out with you, but I promise you, I ain't trying to get over or nothing, but you get that understanding at first. She might say, you know what? I'm gonna take him out and just see for myself. You know, it happens. You don't know where a person's heart or mind is at.
Okay.
You understand? Not saying
Mhm.
that you're that person or you're not that person. I'm just making a statement.
Yes, sir.
That's all.
Well, in that situation like that, I would feel that the individual is unavailable. You're unavailable to ask someone out, to ask someone on a date. You're unavailable because you're not in a position to support the relationship, to support what you want. So I
Well,
think that individual should sit still and just say, wow, I would love to do that, but I'm not in the position to ask that person anything.
Mm-hmm.
well,
You know
well,
what? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
okay. Well, I agree with Glenda. Now down the line, if because everybody ain't gonna have it all the time. So
Mm-hmm.
down the line, if something like that came up, then yeah, I can understand that because it ain't about me getting everything I want. It's having each other's back.
Right.
And it made a great point. And it
Mm-hmm.
made an excellent point there because you have to support your choices.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to
But
support your choices.
but you also got to think about one thing too, Rufus.
What's that, sir?
You don't know if you don't ask.
You correct, correct, correct.
You don't know if you don't ask because a lot of people with good hearts. You understand? You got to put yourself out there, whether it's good, bad intentions, or whatever it might be. You still got to put yourself out there. You'll miss out on glory if you don't. If okay, for example, I ain't got it. I'm gonna come and ask Glenda out anyway, but I'm gonna explain the situation and let her make that choice. You understand? I'm gonna put it out there. You know, if you don't know, you don't. If you won't know if you don't ask. Glenda might see my heart, might feel it in her intuition, and say, you know what, I'm gonna try. Or I'm gonna go out the one time with him with no expectations. Because usually when a female go out anyway, she expect that man to pay anyway, but she's got to build for herself anyway.
But still, Mr. Kingdom, what Annette said has validity, has merit in this situation.
It does, but you still don't know if you don't ask. And I
Correct.
got a question. Somebody made a comment about Mr. Kingdom, and I couldn't get it.
Oh, I saw it. Smooth talker. That Mr. Kingdom is a smooth talker. I saw
Is
it.
that what he said?
Yeah, that's
I'm
what it
not
said.
a smooth talker. I just like communication. I
Smooth,
like to
smooth
put it
talker.
out there for understanding.
Smooth
Okay.
talker.
Someone said, what gets me is when they have it and act like they don't. You talking about money?
Anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that sure ain't Mr. Kingdom. Not yet, anyway.
Okay. Someone else put in the chat, I have a good heart, but I am not paying if you ask me out.
And that's why what Anna said has merit. Glenda, make sure we answer the first one very well. Now read it one more time, and then we'll go to number two if number one is satisfied.
Okay. Example number one, the over-functioning woman. I coached a woman who believed if she didn't carry the entire relationship, it would fall apart. And it did. The moment she stopped doing everything, not because she failed, but because the relationship only worked when she over-functioned and he underperformed. So it sounded like he gave little to nothing and he wanted her to do everything.
Right.
Now,
And yeah. Now, anybody got a comment on this before we wrap this one up? Because this says a lot. Good.
yeah, now the only way that's gonna even happen is about the only one that got to say so. They would have no say so, no control, no nothing if it went like that.
But what if the tables were turned and it was the guy?
Well, I mean, now no, they still wouldn't have no say so. I don't care.
All right. Andre put something in there, but again, Andre typed so fast I can't keep up with him. What was that? Do you want to bring that one out, Andre? Because you type so fast.
Basically, what I was saying was that I was listening to people say that if the guy don't have any money, he really shouldn't be asking the girl out on a date. But then I was like, but if that's the case, does that really say that if the guy's broke, that he should be single? But then I was answering my question by saying, I guess that's why the women with low self-esteem keep having dates and the ones with high self-esteem are single.
Yes, I like that. I like that. I like that.
Yep. Okay. And the only thing that with number one is, if you guys have seen that that show with James Evans and Florida, and
Good times.
Good Times, yeah, Good Times. This is what Good Times was. This is what Good Time was about, because you notice Florida worked all the time. She always had a job on the show. James would go between jobs. If you notice that, the theory that Florida always had a job, and she always kept the family going. And James would in and out of jobs, and James would always have one calamity after another calamity after another calamity. And she kept the relationship going. That's what this is all about.
But Mr. Carpenter, see the difference between it. I think we brought this up previously. When you talk about Good Times, that was a great example. But see, that's a married couple.
Yeah, it's different.
It's different when you're married versus when you're just meeting somebody and you're just dating them, going out with them, getting to know them. So I think that, I get what you're saying and I agree, but the scenarios, we working with two different scenarios. How it works with a married couple is not going to work the same with we just meeting somebody and we just been dating or going out for 6 months to a year.
True. But
So,
the worst of marriage, I think, is worse.
It pretty much is, especially if one is carrying the load all the time and the other one just desires to do the bare minimum because they know the other person, they got it.
Yeah, because Andre said something very important. What about she married that guy? The same guy we're talking about right now, she married him. And now
that would be her red flag, not married.
Yeah. At the end of the day, though, we're talking about a beginning, the start of a relationship, not a prolong or into. It's at the beginning.
Okay.
But then, it's like one-sided. We talking about a guy that's broke. He shouldn't even ask a lady out. Well, even if he had the money and asked a lady out, that lady, she's broke as hell too. So why would she keep accepting it? That look like it'd be on the you side. When you think so? Y'all got to be equally yoked. Just because he got money to ask you out on a date don't mean you got to keep going on a date because you broke.
But I think most of us are prepared. I think most men are prepared to understand a woman not having as much or what he has.
Hell no, he don't work that way.
I don't know.
Who started that equal rights shit? Come on now.
Wait, back
I
up.
ain't saying she
This
got
is
to be
important.
equal to me for as
Wait.
having, but she got to be able to at least have my back every now and then.
I think the night's not the time to bring this up. I think this needs to be one of our subjects because from where I stand, where I've seen, I think I could be prepared for a woman and not have as much as I have, and I think we could find a way to be equally yoked. But I think this is another subject because I think this is very, very important there.
It goes back to what we spoke about here a few weeks ago. You understand? I might be broke financially, but I know how to make up the difference and do what I'm supposed to do. You understand? To make up for it. Where I'm lacking at, I'm gonna make up in other aspects. So am I supposed to be punished because I physically don't have the funds? Am I supposed to be punished?
You
So
in
that's
marriage or a
part of the
relationship?
subject as well.
I think that's a rhetorical question. I think Andre said that's what he was asking.
Yeah, because just because I ain't got the money to treat you, I might do other things. You understand? If I ask you
Yeah,
out,
but
let's say for a good example, let's say I ain't got the money to pay for the dinner. You ain't got a damn ride. I got the ride to get you to dinner and get you home.
Okay. I think we need to go on number two. I think we need to go to number two.
and see, you asked going to the deep waters, and we done got so deep. We about to swim over there in another part of the ocean.
Now y'all about to get on that damn ship in your background. Who's on?
All right. All right, let's go to number two.
Okay.
So we're
All
gonna
right.
stall out right here in one.
Okay. We have our example number two, the build a man season. She thought she was practicing loyalty, but she was actually doing emotional construction work, fixing, healing, overgiving, praying, waiting, da 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 da. Meanwhile, he was setting in. He, meanwhile, he was resting in her survival instinct. That's not a partnership. That's parenting. That's what it sounds like to me.
Can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Go ahead, Sharon. What are you gonna say, Sharon? I know Sharon gonna say something.
Can you read that one again?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Thank you. All right. The Build a Man season. She thought she was practicing loyalty, but she was actually doing emotional construction work, fixing, healing, overgiving, praying, waiting, everything in between. Meanwhile, he was resting in her survival instincts.
It's called parenting. Now, I'm gonna say this. You remember that song that was out? I don't forgot what the female name was. You Can't Raise a Man.
Oh.
I'm trying to think who that was. It wasn't Tony Braxton. Somebody, it was a song. You Can't Raise a Man. Keisha Coles.
Okay.
Thank you, Andre. You can't raise a man. So I don't know how that would work.
Okay, and I think somebody put in there, you can't fix him. You can't fix a broken man.
Right.
Babysitting an
So
adult.
Yeah.
Okay.
that don't
It's
work.
true.
That's just like me coming in. You wearing stripper clothes and stuff, and then I get you and marry you, and now I want you to put on a nun outfit. It ain't gonna work.
Right, right, right.
Okay.
That's absolutely true.
So and you know, and this one happens a lot. Number two
It
happens
does.
a lot. And this is what women do. Women fix, they heal, they're overgivers, they pray, and they wait for it to get better.
Right.
You know, sometimes it never gets better.
Mm-hmm.
That is so true because remember I told y'all my first marriage, it was rocky and shitty from the door, the word go, but I kept standing there because bad start is a happy ending is what I was taught. And I kept looking for that happy ending. Shit, my happy ending came when I had my son. That was in the second marriage.
What? So your
Yeah.
first, okay.
You
So
know, I was
you're waiting had an expiration date then apparently.
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
So I was wondering in that situation, because I believe you're right. I believe women do that uh, often, many women. But I'm wondering, is that also a learned pattern from when we used to play with doll babies? You know, when we grew up as kids, this is what we did as kids, and is that something that we just continue? You know,
Yeah.
that's what I'm wondering.
Because and once again back to the patterns, because I saw this play out in my house, in my home with my mother and father. I saw my mom, she would fix everything, she was healing everything, she was overgiving, she was always praying, and she was always waiting. You know, the Lord, good Lord took her home, you know, because I think she'd waited out. You know, so this is very real. This is very, very real. And if any of us on the line going through this, now we need to have that check. We need to draw a line in the sand. It stops tonight. If any of us find ourselves in this situation, we need to draw a hard line in the sand and say stop.
Hard stop.
Yeah,
Because
go
a
ahead.
lot of times,
Go ahead.
go ahead. Somebody gonna say something? And okay, what I was saying, if any of us on the line is going through this pattern here, please stop. Because a lot of times we don't know what happens behind a shut door.
Right.
You know, a lot of people look like, when you see them on the street, they dress themselves up so nice, they look like everything is beautiful, peaches and cream. Well, really, this could be going on in their household. So if any of us going through this scenario, now's the time to say stop. Because my mom died at a very young age. My mom was a young woman when she died.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw this same scenario. And I was a young person, and I saw the same scenario. My mom fixed everything. She was always healing stuff. She was always overgiving. She was always praying and waiting. So this is real. Any comments on this one before we go to number 3?
Someone put in the chat, I experienced it, but by choice to help improve my partner.
What were you saying, Glenda?
Someone put in the chat, I experienced it by choice to help improve my partner.
Okay. How did they end? Did it stop or is it still going?
You want to comment more in depth?
It stopped. It stopped because I think the person ended up going to someone else, finding someone else who offered what I think they thought more compassion, more empathy, more whatever it needed for the situation. But I think it was just looking at it later, I think it was just that they could use that person a little easier than they could use me.
Right.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Okay. So someone wised up. Both wised up.
Yep.
The perpetrator and the both people wised up. Okay, and realized it wasn't a good match.
Correct.
Great. That's a great ending. That's a real good ending. Okay. Any more about this one before we go to number 3?
I don't see anything else in the chat on number 2.
Okay. All right. Number 3.
All right. Example number 3, the soft life reframe. The soft life reframe. Another woman learned to express her needs, set boundaries, and choose ease. At first, she felt guilty. Then she felt powerful. Now she no longer apologizes for the peace she deserves.
Now, any comments on this one?
That sounds like a big open statement, a broad statement.
To me, it sounds like a person knew her worth. It sounds like a person knew her worth.
No, read it again.
Okay. The soft life reframe. Another woman learned to express her needs, set boundaries, and choose ease. At first, she felt guilty. Then she felt powerful. Now she no longer apologizes for the peace she deserves.
Hmm.
She saw her worth. She no longer apologizing for what she really deserves. She deserves to be treated like she's supposed to be treated the way she want to be treated, to be valued, to be loved, to be a priority in her relationship. She no longer feel as if wanting those things make her feel guilty. Like I feel guilty for looking for this from another person. No, you deserve that.
But you know, that statement, honestly, is incomplete because even though she found her worth and she felt she deserved this, that, and the other, what was she putting out?
Probably too much.
Maybe she wasn't putting out enough, but still wanted more.
Okay.
I think the key to this whole thing is that those two words, set boundaries. And we get people see when people say set boundaries, they think it's for the other person. A lot of times, setting boundaries are for yourself as well as the other person. Because if you break your own boundaries, you're putting yourself out there the wrong way.
Okay, the reason I said what I said because it goes back to this segment. You know, they get these little skits on Facebook.
Yes.
This lady and this guy, he approached her. This lady asked him, "You got money? You got this and you got that. Are you well this?" The guy stopped and he say, "Well, you stay with your mama?" She's like, "Yeah." "You got a job?" "No." "Well, how can you expect your word from somebody else when you ain't got shit yourself?" Do you understand what I'm saying? You can know your worth and what you want, but if you ain't got nothing to back it yourself, you understand? That's why I was saying that statement is incomplete because you really don't know where they stand. That's why I was saying that.
But
But
it's on a case-by-case basis.
and that's where the runway is so important. That's where you find out the things, the same way they find out things about you, you find out things about them. And that's when you both decide, is this relationship that y'all want to pursue?
Communication.
Yep, communication. And we call it picker. You got to make sure your picker's right.
Make it make sense.
Yep, that's it. And that's where it is. And that's where it is. And this part says at first she felt guilty because at first she thought maybe she was demanding too much from a person.
Come on, Ed. Come on, DG. Talk to me.
And then she felt powerful. And then she no longer excuses because she wanted her peace. She knows she deserved her peace.
Yeah.
And you know, her and I didn't want to get into this, but since I got to get since we're at the point now, we're getting late in the hour. A lot of times women have a lot of reasons why they do the things they do because they have a lot of experiences of being taken advantage of and a lot of experience of hurt and pain. So when a lot of ladies get in this situation like this lady right here and they express their needs and set boundaries, they have a lot of evidence in their past to say, hey, stop. These patterns got to stop. I have to put boundaries in place to protect myself. Because especially our age, we're over 30 and we're somewhere between 30 and 70 years old. So a lot of us have a lot of experiences that have told us and taught us that we can't do as we normally were. We have to put boundaries in place. And a lot of ladies on this line here tonight have experienced enough pain in their life to realize something had to change.
Well, I'm a guy, and I had a lot of experiences in my life, and something damn sure gonna change.
Right. And that's why this is so important, because you can't be stuck on stupid, as they say, all your life.
Right, correct.
No, it's not what you go through, it's what you learn when you come through it.
All the above.
That's what it is.
So tonight was a very important night because the night is the time where we got to look at our situation and we got to realize what love was. You know, love is not always hurting. You don't always have to be in pain. love can be peaceful. Love can be consistency. Love can be reciprocity. Love can be support. And love definitely got to be safe. It's definitely got to be safe. These are the things when we talk about love and relationships, these are the things we're looking for. Because nobody wants turmoil and fuss and fight in our relationships. And sometimes we think that fuss and fight and that little flare up, sometimes people say that's excitement. That's enthusiasm. That's passion. Not necessarily.
No.
Not necessarily.
Question, Rufus and Glenda. Got a question.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
When y'all pick y'all topics, do the two of you pick the topics, or do you ask the audience about something they're going through that might be a good topic to speak on for the next week or a couple weeks down the road?
All the above. All the above. And then sometimes we go to scenarios and we'll go somewhere and be doing something and we'll see it played out in couples there. And they'll be going through an argument or something come up or they'll ask a question and then we'll write it down and say, hey, look, this will make a great topic. Because when we try to have our topics, we try to do real life. This is not about entertainment. We're not doing this so you can feel entertained and be tickled and say, man, we had a great night. And that's why we want to talk real stuff. We want, when you go through this, we want you to have something that you can carry. Because remember, we started last year this time, last November, last December. We said by the end of year 2025 in December, we want to be staying there in our best relationship possible. So we've had a roadmap to get us to where we are right now. And if you go back and look at all the weeks we had, you'll see it has taken us somewhere. And that's where we're at. This because tonight one is your choice of love, your choice now. You don't have to have a rocky romance. It don't have to be a struggle. So now you've come through things. You've talked about it. Because Mr. Kingdom, tonight you mentioned about 3 or 4 weeks before, about 2 or 3 times you referenced 2 or 3 weeks before what we talked about and how it's important tonight. So through your conversation, you can see how we're building upon each week. So that's how we do it, Mr. Kingdom.
I was just curious. So when is that second annual?
The second annual, Glenda, you want to tell them that? You want me to tell them?
You can tell them.
The second annual will be the same this time last year. It'll be the same as the one last year. Last year, what date was the actual dates we used, Glenda, last year? You remember the actual dates?
October was
the second week in October?
Was the 10th?
Yes, it was.
The 10th. The second week in October. It's going to be about the same. Where are we going this year, Glenda?
We are going to Aruba and Bonaire, October the 10th through the 18th.
Y'all be picking the hurricane season.
Well,
That's still part of hurricane season.
It's always something going on in the world, Mr. Kingdom.
It so is, but for somebody who ain't never been out there on that water.
You know what, Gigi, is Gigi on the line? Because Gigi was first time on the water. Gigi, are you on the line? Can you tell them how your first trip was?
My first cruise was amazing. It was out of this world. I met some great people. I did some great things. I connected with people, and a lot of them I'm still in contact with. So my cruise was absolutely amazing.
And
I'm not liking it because it's just like the first flight. You know what I mean? I get over it. It was just a thought.
Yeah.
You know? And just to put it out there, Rufus.
Sir.
That background y'all have is bringing out a glow in the both of you, the brightness. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
With the lightness in the back.
Oh, okay.
You can see like a little halo or glow light type look. You know what I mean? It's a different, y'all look different. It's a good thing.
Oh, thank you, sir. All right.
I just wanted to put that out there.
Any comments before Glenda bring us home? Because I think it's about that time we start looking towards going home. Turn the boat back around, going home.
You let that boat keep going forward. Maybe somebody will jump on it.
Okay, well, if y'all are interested in going on our second annual cruise this coming October 2026, please, reach out to Rufus or myself. It's already on Facebook. You can DM Facebook if you have an interest. And we do encourage you to share the information with other friends and family that may be interested in going. You know, you can have a good connection, reconnect with your family, a family reunion. Just bring as many people as you want. We have a lot of fun. We have a lot of activities that we are planning for this upcoming cruise. And we really look forward to seeing each and every one of you guys, the ones from last year, as well as the new members and the new participant this coming year. As we close tonight, we want to say thank you for showing up with honesty and openness. Remember, you don't have to suffer to be loved. You do not have to suffer to be loved. You don't have to shrink to be chosen. This week, I want you to walk in your softness with confidence. You guys have a wonderful night and a wonderful week coming up. Good night.
Wait, before we go, I gotta say this. Since Gigi spoke, I gotta say this. I gotta thank Andre. If Andre's still on, Andre made that cruise a success. Andre, I gotta tell you, Andre, you know what, Andre, me and you were tight at first, but I love you now, brother. You turned it out.
And you know, you can't forget, wait a minute, you can't forget Sharon, all the people that she handed out our business cards to participate and join us on Sunday night at 9.
Annette, did you go on the first one?
I just gotta thank. All right, thank you guys.
Annette, did she go on the first one?
Mr. Kingdom, no.
Okay, I thought you said no, you won't be going. So I was just curious to know if you went on the first one or not.
Mr. Kingdom, I don't do the water.
All right, everybody. Thank you. Good night. See you guys next week.